Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing? I'm going to turn the music down just a bit. Alright, hopefully that's good. Hello, guys. How is everyone doing? How's everyone doing? We are going to jump right into this. I've been doing some investigating. We're gonna try and make some progress today. We've been trying to make progress for the last couple days. I said we give it a good hour, and then I'm probably gonna jump into some craft if this doesn't go well. So that's the plan. Also, hold on. Let me. Yeah. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure. Okay, that should be fun. Oh, no. Yep. Okay, there we go. So we're still working on multiplayer. Obviously. So here's the thing. If I do a nice play, and we're just testing mouse right now to at least get something working. So hit enter to get one player in, and then we can go through and select things. But I can't move, which is interesting. And I also cannot hit enter. I can jump, and that jumps. And that's all we got. That is quite literally the only thing that we have. I didn't mean to play that. Also, I want to go here and I want to change jump link back to 0.5. I changed it last stream for testing purposes, and it just it needs to go back to 0.5. So there's a couple things. First of all, I don't know why no other things are working, because in this multiplayer demo, the player's configured with the player input, And the player input has attached an actions object, and then also a default map, no UI input, player camera, and then excuse me, its behavior is send messages, and it says we'll send a message to game object on device lost, on device regained, on control changed, and on teleport. So on teleport is the one that actually correlates with the control, as you can see from like this. There's teleport, which maps all these buttons, and it maps to the on teleport action, which you can see they use here. It has nothing, it's not set up with anything. Nothing is set up in this, right? It's all they do is call on teleport. And with the send messages setting, this should work. Sorry. However, actually, do they have a, they should have a player manager. Yeah. What is a player manager? Join buttons pressed, player prefab here, join by default, split screen. This is also send messages, right? Okay, so that's not super important. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. What I could do with this though is, with this I could create a default camera. And just call it start camera. And then this could projection. Oh, field of view or move the Z out further. No, the position. There we go. Let's I think this might be like perfect. Okay, I think that's good. We could bring it in further. But then on, where's our player manager? Don't we have a player manager? Game manager? Player input manager, yeah, here. Send messages, join actions triggered. Which we would do on players joined. So if we go into the game manager script and do void on players, no, on player joined. On player joined, yeah. Probably public also. No. There we go. Let's do, we want to do cam dot, no. Yeah, let's do public game camera. So let's do cam dot active equals false. Okay, fine. Set active false. Okay, there we go. So yeah, once the player joins, then it sets the main camera to false, which should be good. Okay. All right, so go ahead and do this. And then here we can do arcade start. Oh, no. We still want to do it so it's like this. Yeah, so we still want to have players to join before we continue with the menu, you know? Variable cam of game. Oh, whoops. Here we go. Start camera. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we can jump, and that's it. Okay. So let's go here. And for all of our movement types, which are, if we go to player, characters, player object, and then excuse me. So jump, shoot, eat, rotate stick, rotate mouse, move. So on jump, we got that. On rotate mouse, well, this part public. On rotate stick, also make this public. On move, yeah, also I'm just gonna get rid of these and these. It's gonna cause some errors somewhere. There. Also more errors down here. All right. This is where it gets interesting, isn't it? This is where it gets interesting. So in this scenario, I want to know, with the player input component, how do you access if you're interested in the value from the control that triggers an action, you can input value. But then how do you value? Okay, interesting. I'm gonna pull this to the side. Hey, LG, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. We're doing some coding today. Going through setting up multiplayer. We've been trying to do this for a long time, but we shall see if it works today. Input value. This should be a position, I think. And then we should be able to do Can you do a var in C sharp? Going PG. Yeah, exactly like Words with Friends. That's for sure what I'm doing. I did not know you could do var in this. Who knew? So we'll get position dot. It's gonna be no. I thought it stood up for parental guidance. No, I figured. So it's gonna be that dot get big caret vector 2 little caret. Oh, I had it right there. It's fine. Okay. We'll see if that does anything that I want to do. I don't know. I guess we can do. Let's just call it pause. We'll go with pause for now. Pause seems good. Yeah, so we want to do this, and then. Seems good. Okay. Rotate mouse called, and then this will be rotate stick called. We'll see if that works. Now, let's go to sort of tongue here. There, tongue. This should be on eat, I believe. Go up to here. Delete that. Okay. Let's do input value. I have no idea what this is gonna give us, so I'm curious. Is there a way to see? Can I see what this input value is? Anything? Input value. Ah, here we go. Ah ha ha! Here it is. This is a wraparound input action callback content, chiefly for the use with game object messages. It exists so the action callback can be blah 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 blah. Okay, so properties is pressed, and you can do a get to read the value as an object. But I should just be able to do is pressed, no? The current value in form of the boxed object. Ah. Okay, checks out. So I should be able to do input value value dot is pressed. We can make other decisions based off that, but let's do debug dot log Just call it just print eating. Okay. Did we miss? We definitely missed one. We missed shoot, I think. I think we missed shoot. Oh, sorry. On shoot is works. We got that. And let's go ahead and promote. Just comment all this out. We don't need any of that. None of that. All right. Let's see if anything good happens. Did I miss part where your cat comes on the show? No, he has not come today. He honestly has not been on the stream for a while, except Monday. He came over here, so we'll see. Maybe he'll get hungry. Well, I shouldn't say maybe. He's definitely gonna get hungry at some point. He's in the dining room. Maybe he'll come say hi later. Okay, so boom, got a player. Okay. Don't really know what that drift's all about, but that's okay. Okay, so shooting does not work. Eating does not work. No other controls work. But jumping works. I don't know how jumping is the only thing that works. Does not make any sense. Okay. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. There we go. All right. I'm so confused on how jumping works and nothing else does. Let's look in the frog. Oh, the frog do be sliding to the left. He's hitting that cha-cha slide. No, actually, I'd really like if he hit that cha-cha slide, but he is not doing anything. If we go here, is there anything different about the jump in here? It's action type is button. That's also make him do the cha-cha slide and I will buy the game. All right, I'll make him do the cha-cha slide. Maybe we'll see. I have to get him to be controllable first. I can't even. He's not even letting me control him anymore. It's so sad. Okay. Let's go to the script. Let's do a salad search. Any jump. Anywhere. Find all of them. Give me the jumps. Give me the jumps. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay. Well, interesting. Okay. Player actions. That checks out. But there's also all of these, right? Like. So there's one for all of these. If I go here, there's a jump. There's a shoot. Blah, 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 blah. Action, bindings. Like these all exist for all of them. Gameplay jump, gameplay find action jump, door not found true, blah 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 blah. Input action jump, shoot, eat, rotate stick. A jump at shoot at eat. Okay, so this all exists for all of them. We have a jump header. Okay, so this is not necessarily like this. None of these are really relevant. Now we have jump. We're not calling jump at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit. On jump is called here. Is there anywhere else where on jump is called? No. On jump is not called anywhere else, which is ridiculous. And so if I search up shoot, here, let me do this real quick. Keep this around. And then what if I do a solid, like shoot? Shoot should be almost identical. Did it cover the, did it replaced it? Yeah. Let me grab this real quick. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. Whoops. Okay. Oh, okay. We can do it like this then. So we got 13 player actions, and then I mean, you can't really compare this, but all the variables are in here. We have a shoot. We also have an on shoot. Oh wait, is there no on shoot? Am I just being silly? Did I just goof big time? No, there is an on shoot. Bruh. This is what I'm saying. Wait, this is not at all what it told me before. Like, that's not even close to what it was saying before that. That is not what it found me last time. Oh, that's why. Because I was doing shoot before. So shoot. And then all of these are on shoot. That's on shoot. That's enemy shoot. We don't particularly care about this. I care more about player projectile. Where we don't have shoot, but instead we have on shoot. That's commented out, but this one is not commented out. That's the important one. That's the one we care about. And so that's, I'm just a little confused. A little confused. So what happens if we put this in there? Like, I don't think it calls it then. Play projectile. I really don't understand how only jump is working. That's really, it's killing me. It's killing me. That to me just makes zero sense. Like, I definitely messed something up tremendously, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, but starting over is a lot of everything. Yes, I'm just spamming all the keys except for jump right now, and none of them are working. Jump works though. All right, well. What to do? What to do? All right, so I'm trying to think of any other reason why jump would work and other stuff wouldn't. Because in the player actions, everything is defined, right? I mean, we can see the actual player actions in no, not this one. In here, we can see the actual player actions. We'll be able to see what's going on. Let's dig through this a little bit. So all the mappings are here, right? Jump, shoot, rotate stick, rotate mouse, move, test. These paths are mapped to actions. Makes sense. Gameplay. And then we have private read-onlys for all of them from jump to test. All these input actions are here. All these are here. Oh. Those are there. Add callbacks. Remove, set. Yeah, there's nothing more that I can tell from what I have. There's nothing else I can tell that hasn't been. I mean, what if I just... Alright, so what if I delete this, right? It's going to recompile the script, do yada yada yada. Go back here, we can see there's no more on shoot. Let's add shoot. Alright, this is actually really annoying. This is very annoying. Okay. Mouse, you know, just... And then add binding. Gamepad. And then I want it to be right trigger. Because left trigger is eat, right? Yep, okay, good. Now let's save this. Has it on shoot. Where are these 6 references? There. Okay. Now if we go to player object, go into the player movement. Now we want to do player input way down here. On shoot is in here, right? Checks out. There's nothing in there. Okay. So I don't know what's up with that. What was I gonna do? So if you go in here, I mean, on shoot should still be connected, right? You know, we have player projectile, we have on shoot. Let's get rid of this. And let's see. Let's see if this works. Okay, we got a player in here. Started. We can jump. However, we cannot shoot. Okay. Let's completely rip this out. We're going to try what LG says. We're going to start over. LG, if this doesn't work, I'm blaming it on you. Just so you're aware. Completely delete that. Yes. Now let's create... input actions. Nope. No, you're being blamed. Input... Bro. Input actions. Okay. Let's go here. Action map. Let's do gameplay. New action. Call this jump. It's one that worked before. Let's try it this time. Add binding. Okay, so here we got, we'll do gamepad and button south is X, or I don't know, it's the southern button, the bottom button. So, and this should be spacebar. Yeah. Okay, save the asset. Now, go to characters, go to player object, go to player. Let's go down here. And the player input action asset is input actions. We want that the gameplay map, none. Main camera, even though we should probably call this like player camera. Probably makes more sense. Okay. On device lost, on device regained, on device, and on jump. Okay. So on jump is what we care about. Now, if we can jump, that's good. That'll be good if we can jump. Okay, so we can jump. There's no animation. I don't know if that's because the Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Player. I want to see why this jump isn't working. Jump length, turn to 1. Oh, the animation is just really long, that's what it is. Can I do this? Put that in here. Frog jump. Okay, interesting. Okay, what if we do that? Guys, that didn't work. Didn't do what I wanted to do. Okay. I guess one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So that worked, right? That worked. Now, next step is we know we can jump, right? We can get rid of this probably. We could probably get rid of this. So now, let's try and do another control. So input actions. Let's add an action. Call this shoot. Nice and simple. Let's map this to a nice solid right trigger. Okay. Let's also map this to right click. No, I want to do left. I want to do left click. Mouse. Left button. Okay. Let's go ahead and save that. All right, so now I wonder what the style toolbar search text field in skin dark skin. I don't really know what that is, but let's just get rid of it. Now let's see if shooting works. Oh, actually, I did want to see if this jumpy thing worked. I want to see if I could do the hops. I forgot about that. All right. Enter. Start. Obviously, we can jump. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Oh, I did this. Connected another controller. Just enter. Now we're in. Okay, but that's interesting because... Yeah, so like I'm not Wait, what? Okay, so here. Wait, why is it showing none of... Oh. It's because it's the same frog, guys. It's the same one. I see it now. Sorry. So yeah, there you could tell that, you know, only the one frog is jumping. So the frog is differentiated. The cameras are a little messed up, but that's okay. I don't know why it switched cameras on me. But it's good to know. So now does shooting work? Shooting does work. Not with my mouse though. Doesn't like that on my mouse. But it works here. Okay. Interesting. A lot of interestingness here. So I think there's two things. One is the camera following the camera following, like both the cameras pointing at the same player is very strange. Very, very strange. I don't know how to feel about that one. But yeah, if I put grab this guy. I toss him over there. They're both on this guy. So I don't know why that's the case. Guys, I just realized, how am I going to deal with enemies going to either player? I don't know. I do have a thought. I already have a thought on that. But I don't know. This is very, very interesting. So what manages the cameras? It's the player manager, right? Or the player input? Player input, I think. Well, I think they combined both of them. Sorry, player object. This player. It's this camera, right? And then if we go out of this and go to the game manager, player input manager, we're spawning player objects. We're enabling split screen. Just a couple different things. And then shooting with the controller works, but not shooting with the mouse, which is interesting. I bet you if I changed the binding, it would work. Yes, that's right button. It doesn't register left button. It just doesn't register this button. I don't know why. So I wonder if we go to, don't save. If we go here, no. Here? Wait, where did I see it? Oh, I think it was on the player itself, wasn't it? I think it was on the player itself. Player. Put in here. Open input debugger. So this mouse. Live. I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's see. Okay, so this does work, right? Okay, so this left button is doing something. Okay, so all these buttons seem to work, right? But if I do this, go into input actions, for some reason it just doesn't like this left button on the mouse. Mouse. It just really does not like that. But if I do, so I bet you if I do right button on the mouse and save that. Saved. All right, let's go back in. Okay. We have a character. We're in. No. I wonder if it's just mouse input in general. Because let's go back here. Go in here. Right trigger. Let's change this binding. No. Right button. Change this binding to button on the keyboard. Let's just do shift. Left shift keyboard. Save this. I bet you this will work. I don't know why. I don't know how. But I bet you this is going to work. So it's the mouse input. It doesn't like the mouse input. That is so weird. What if I bring out mouse number 2? Well, if I can. Mouse 2 does not want to come. Okay, sorry. It was just a small amount tangled. Guys, why does hardware have to be so complicated? Like, what is this? This is ridiculous. All these problems this entire time was just because I wasn't reading the mouse input. That's absurd. It reads the mouse input just fine, normally. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do... No. Mouse left. Let's add a new binding and do mouse right also. And now either one of them should allow the shoot to happen. Okay. Okay, we got a character. Start it up. It's just mouse input. It hates the mouse input. What is this, bro? What is this? Why is the mouse input cursed? That's actually so awful. I accidentally unplugged the controller. My bad. Also, wireless controller? I think not. It's literally wired in. Okay. So I guess that we know. No mouse input. Yeah, because shift worked, right? Why is there no mouse? I might have to dig into this offline. Okay, so I think first thing, let's dive into this shoot. And like it should be left mouse, but we're also gonna do just for, you know, shift from the keyboard. Okay, go ahead and save this. Okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. I think it's for that input UI. So I want to on any flare projectile. So on shoot is called each and every time the button is pressed. But what if I want it called each and every time? What if I want it called continuously while the button's pressed? You know? I think what I would have to do for that is determine some sort of type. No. No. What's this derived binding? Is it virtual mouse left button? Why is it virtual? Why is the mouse virtual? Make it unvirtual. Unvirtualize the mouse. Bro. Whatever, bro. Whatever. I thought there was something I could do somewhere. All right, what if you try this? What's the deal if we try this? Interesting. So it gets on when you let go and release, it shoots, but not while you're holding down. So if you hold on partially, it continuously releases. Oh, yes, you have to be going up or down. So if I go, like if I... Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's open up these docs for a second. If I just read this through. Each input system provides two related components that simplify how you separate. So player input and player input manager. So player input is a single player, and that player's associated input actions. An input manager component handles setups that allow for several concurrent users. Okay. Above the player input component as visible in the inspector, actions asset called example actions. Checks out, checks out. Player input instance represents a separate player or user. You can use multiple player input instances at the same time, although not on the same game object. You can use multiple player input instances at the same time, not on the same game. Okay, local multiple setups. The input system pairs each player to a unique set of devices, then that the player uses exclusively. But you can also manually pair devices in a way that enables two or more players to share a device. Okay, gotcha. Each player input corresponds to one input user. Okay. You can use player input.user to query the input user from the component. Okay. Checks out. So to get started, add a player input to the game object. Okay. Create the input actions asset. Okay. When creating the actions asset, Unity asks you where to create the new asset. Choose a place. Configure. And then set up the actions responses by selecting a behavior type from the behavior menu. Okay. This all checks out. Sorry, I'm just I'm gonna set the music. Okay. All right, so set up action responses by selecting a behavior type. How the player input component notifies, see documentation notification behaviors. So send messages uses game object.send message on the game object that the player input belongs to. And send message calls the specified method on every mono behavior attached to the game object. A value parameter specified for the method that doesn't accept parameters is ignored. If options is set to send message options.required receiver, blah 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 bloobity blobbly bloobity blobbly. Okay, so there's a couple things. Actually, there's not. No, this doesn't tell me anything about how to Yeah, I just like... Yeah, this isn't helpful. So to receive input, each player must have an associated set of input actions. Where was I before? Oh, I was here. You can use following properties to configure player input. Yep. To receive input, each player must have an associated set of input actions. When you create these via player input inspector, create actions. Okay, player input component automatically handles enabling and disabling actions, also handles installing callbacks. So player input automatically handles enabling and disabling actions, also installing callbacks. Okay, that's good to know. When multiple player input components use the same actions, the components automatically create private copies of the actions. So when first enabled, the player input component enables all actions from the default action map. Player input component enables all actions from the default action map. Yeah. So to manually enable actions, enable and disable actions. Okay. So when the notification behavior of player input is set to send messages or broadcast messages, you can see your app respond to actions by defining methods. Oh, I actually want to do broadcast messages then. Because I want children game objects to be able to see it too. That's a good, solid point. Player. Waffle, do you want to come say hi to the stream? Waffle. He does not. He wants to look out the window. Okay. I mean, that's good to know, but it doesn't really solve any of our problems. Oh, man, this documentation is, like, not helpful, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but... Like, I just want to know how... do I continuously send... I think it has to do with the action type. I think it does. So when you enable an action, the action system resolves its bindings, unless it has done so already. Or if the set of devices that the action can use has not changed. So you can't change certain aspects of configurations such as bindings. You disable... So an action doesn't represent an actual response to an input itself. An action informs our code that a certain type of input has occurred. Each action has a started, performed, and a canceled callback. Bruh. Bruh. What are you doing? You're being a menace. Get out of here. There. Now you have to come say hi to the stream. Say hello. Say hello. Are you quiet today? There. Just relax. 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 Okay? This guy. What a menace. You're a menace. Okay. So there's action triggered. Input system on action change. You can pull the current state of an action whenever you need it. And input action trace can record changes happening on actions. So I guess that's... So I assume it just calls... I assume it calls on shoot when we start, or only when player action has like only when on shoot is what? Oh, because that's a completely different script. Bro, where's the script? Oh, what? It didn't even generate the C# class yet? Bruh. So this is all on old information. That doesn't make any sense. I'm very confused. I'm really, really confused right now. Very confused. I don't understand how... I don't understand how this is working at all. Oh, sorry if the music stopped while I took my headphones off. I'm so confused now. So these mapped it all to here. Look at these at all mapped. What are the bindings? Are these the bindings? That's that. That's that. This is left trigger. I mean, like for shoot, it's just left button and right trigger. Yeah. No. I'm so so confused as to how it's doing anything right now. So what happens if I delete this? Yeah. Like it's gone. Just boom. Kick it out. Get out of there. Does everything still work? Yeah, just delete that. And what about this one? Where's this? Yeah, no. Okay, we're good. Play it up. Let's see what happens. I'm very curious to how this works at all. What? What do you mean? I genuinely do not know how this works at all. I'm so lost. So lost. Alright, so this... Is that gonna break everything? Let me go ahead and save this real quick. Let me go into the other scene. Oh, I'm in play mode. I didn't realize that. Okay. Scenes. Rounds. Yeah, these are all triggers. Okay, so that's exactly what I want. Okay, go back into endless. Yeah, I figured that might be the issue. But okay, so now we have one problem solved out of many. I don't remember what's... Yeah, everything still works. How does it still work? Do you not have to generate the class? Does the... Maybe all the managers just do everything for you. Might be what it is. That might actually be what it is. I guess that would make sense. Okay. It's a little interesting, but... Okay. So again, it's probably only getting called when the action is started, right? So then... How do you determine if something has been started or not? No, I want to go here. Bruh. Okay, here we go. When an input action starts receiving input, it started. When it stops, it goes to canceled. When performed is used, depends primarily on the type of action. Value will trigger performed when the value of the control changes. Button will trigger performed as soon as the button threshold has been crossed. Both interactions and the action type can affect the phases that an action goes through. Pass-through actions will only ever use performed and not go to started or canceled. Let's do something real quick. Let's go to player projectile. Let's pass in the input value, value, or val, whatever. And let's just call val dot is pressed. Yeah. Okay. So now we'll see if this is ever called when the button is not being pressed, which is important. Because if it is, then we can draw information out of that. If it's not, then we don't have any way of telling when the player stops holding down the shoot button, which we kind of need to know a little bit. Okay, so we got a player. I got to do this and this. We're no longer sliding to the left. Sorry for all the cha-cha slide fans out there. But we can jump. We can shoot. Gotcha. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Now we just need a little coding. We need to do... if we do a... all we would have to do is set can't shoot, then shoot, then call coroutine to wait. Then you come back, set can shoot. Boom. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow. Okay. So if we can move and we can shoot, and I guess if input is allowed, it's a weird thing. Can't shoot goes false. Then we're shooting, which is good. Okay, but then after this, we want to call coroutine. Just call this like shoot cooldown. And then can shoot equals true. So we can do this. We can do private shoot cooldown. Private I enumerator cooldown. Okay. And then literally all this is going to do is yield return new wait for... What if we did wait for end of frame? No, because I feel like that's going to be... I don't know. We can try. We can try it. Start routine? Start coroutine. There we go. Start coroutine. All right. Let's go ahead and try this. Wait, but it's not called the entire time it's being pressed down, right? So this should do the exact same thing that it's doing now. Like there should be no, I mean, subtract the fact that it might have less time in between shots, but yeah, okay. So that's a little too fast. A little too fast. But also, it's not... Okay, so then you want to start a loop. Or we can even do like loop while button pressed equals true. So I think the first thing to do here is we say if val.is pressed. So if the button is being pressed, then we'll move that up later. But if val's pressed, shooting is probably better. True. Yeah, I'm gonna change this. Is shooting. Okay. So now else is shooting is false. Perfect. Then while is shooting, okay, so you start pushing the button, value is pressed, is shooting equals true, goes on while is shooting equals true. So then it's continuously in this loop, right? And so every time, well, should this be and can shoot? Because what I don't want to happen is goodness gracious, bro, it's killing me. Okay, what I don't want to happen is, so we press the button down, right? And then it goes through and starts looping, right? And it just goes like shoot, and then wait, and then over and over and over and over again, right? Like this just keeps looping and looping and looping and looping. But then the button is still being pressed down, you know, X amount of times, and then finally it gets held up. Now for each one of these times that it's pressed, this is going to get replicated. And so I don't want it shooting multiple times for this, right? But like at some point you have to, like at some point it's gonna be like, for this you're not gonna be getting input that the button's being pushed down. You're just gonna have to keep doing, shoot, wait, shoot, wait, shoot, wait, while the button's being pressed down, and while. So you have to have a button for, you have to have a variable for the button, right? And it's either down or up. But then also, oh, this is messing with my head because you like. This thing is so hard with like making games, especially in, like, at least in Unity, or like the game loop is already established for you. Like, I need to do things I need to do things across 4 multiple frames, but I'm not getting the input for every frame. You know what I mean? Let me write this out. Sometimes this helps. No, not this. Okay, so frog needs to shoot repeatedly at a fixed interval. So it's gonna start when button is pressed down, and it's going to stop when button is released. Right, so those are the conditions. The button is either been pressed or is released, right? So we care the moment when the button first is pressed, and we care the moment when it's released. But the thing is, for both of those commands, we're getting multiple. Like, we get 6. We get 6 alerts that the button's being pressed down. It's like, oh, it's being pressed down, it's being pressed down. And then when it's released, we also get a bunch of stuff. I'm curious. I changed it to value. What if I just select as a button? What if I just select it as a button? I wonder if that changes anything. So you want true, and that's it. So you only get trues. Right, so I don't want that. I don't want only trues. I have no way of telling when the button is released. Yeah. So let's reset that back to value. But now I need... Right, so you get in, the value is pressed. So the value is pressed. Now what do? You start your loop, right? But that's the thing, is that this method is going to be called multiple times. Because this value is going to be, like, this method's going to be called multiple times as the button's been pressed down. So you're going to try to do this 2, 3, 4 times, which is where the strong is coming from. Like, you're going to try and do it here and here and here. And you have to have a way to say, no, I only want to do it this initial time. So you have this input that's coming in. But you should also say, like your initial press and this is a yes or a no, right? So then here, your button's been pushed down, and that's a yes, but then this is a no. This is a no. Or I guess you're not getting anything here, but so that's a no. And then when this is also a no, right? And the only time you let this go is when you get past, right? So if I say, let's do, so we're in Boolean called is shooting, right? And that's just letting me know if I'm in a down state, right? Like, has the button been pushed, and is the button being pushed? Is all that's saying. Like, should I be shooting right now? And then Boolean initial event also. So if the button is being pressed, put that to true. If that's not being pressed, then put that to false, right? So now, this should be set to true initially. And now you can say if it's the initial event. No, I don't really care about this. It's irrelevant now. Okay. Okay, so if the button is being pushed down, this gets set to true, this gets set to false. So the first time the button is pushed down, this is true, and you say initial event is true. Then you immediately set initial event to false. Now you start this loop of, you know, shooting, right? And you're continuously in this loop of shooting. I don't want to do anything there. Now, if you're shooting, you're in this loop of shooting, right? If initial event or actually it should be and. No, hold on. Walk through this. I gotta walk through this one time. Okay. Push the button initially. Value is pressed. So you set is shooting to true. Go here. Initial event is initially true. So now we're going in here. Initial event is now false. While is shooting is true because we just set it to true. Now we start a loop of shooting, waiting. Shooting, waiting, shooting, waiting. So we're shooting at fixed intervals. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're going to get a couple more inputs where is pressed is true. So, okay, this is true. Tries to go here. And it says no. An initial event is false because we set it there previously. So, no, an initial event is false. Get out of here. So now this goes to the very end. And whatever. Doesn't really do anything. Now once this is false, what we do is set is shooting to false, but we also set initial event to false. Or initial event to true. No? No, we set initial event to true. Not here. Because, so this is going to set is shooting to false. It's going to go here and say, hey, if is initial event. And it's going to say, no, this is not the initial event. So then what you do is you go back all the way to here. And you're done, right? You're done with the, you don't get in the if statement. You're out. Let's do this. Or this. Yeah. So this is such a complex workflow, I feel like. Like, it's not really all that bad, but it just, like, feels kind of bad for some reason. Yeah, so once is pressed is false, right? You're setting is shooting to false. But you still don't get into this if statement because initial event is still false. However, that initial instance that's still running, this while statement that's still running, goes now to here, and the next time it reevaluates, is shooting is set to false. And now that is shooting is set to false, is shooting is set to false, it exits this. Now, whenever you exit this, you should just set initial event back equal to true. Because that'll reset everything. Everything will be fine. Next time, we're at the same state we were the first time we went through. That seems good. Now, I'm going to do one thing. We're going to do input dot get key down. I'm going to do key code. Yeah, we'll do escape. Sure. So that way, oh wait, I didn't even do this right. If this, so if that, then just break. Oh, I got you. There we go. Just in case we enter an infinite loop and it never stops, we have some sort of hotkey to get us out of it. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's going to work. We will see, though. We don't. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So first off, we're going to add our character. Then we're going to start the game. We're going to start shooting. And nothing happens. Wait, why? It's just, no, it's dead, guys. Oh, no. No. No, we broke everything. Oh, we entered the infinite loop. Everything is broken. Even escaping doesn't stop it. No! No, 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 no. Oh, all right. Bro, Waffle just knocked over the entire keyboard. Get out of here. What are you doing? This guy. Bro, the entire keyboard is literally on the ground. He's such an idiot. Such a fool. Yeah, no. Let me try and fix this. Oh, nope, nope. It's really over, guys. Task manager doesn't even say that it's running. That is brutal. Okay, that's really hurts my eyes. Can we stop that? All right, guys. So here's the thing. First of all, we're just gonna block this dude, because I don't really care about you. Okay. Second of all, I'm cooked. Oh no, no. We're fine. No, we're not. No, we're not. We are in fact not fine. Oh wait, actually, was I wrong? Oh, I think this is Unity. Did that work? It worked! Okay. We're not cooked, guys. I don't have to end the stream. My computer isn't completely frozen. I'm gonna load up Unity and also go pee, and I'll be right back. Hopefully Unity will be done loading by the time that I am done. We're gonna try and test out a better way. Also, we're gonna try and figure out what happened. Be right back. All right, perfect. Unity is back up and running. All right, let's do some critical analysis. Very critical because it just shut down all of Unity. So, okay, so we obviously have a loop here, right? This thing do be looping. So there's a couple things I want to do. So we could do and like I. That's not what I wanted. Do I as less than, 100. And you establish I here. Or let's establish I here. Int I equals 0. And then just do like I plus plus beginning of every one. Okay, so now this should only run 100 times maximum. Just to escape any infinite looping that may occur. But I also would like to print every time that this initial event if statement is entered. So say entering loop. And let's do a little we'll print is shooting. And then oops. Initial event. Okay. So now we know when it's entering the loop and what the status of is shooting and initial event both are. Oh, also this is wait for... Yes, I thought just wait for seconds. And then do... What is it? Oh, fire rate? Okay. Fire rate. Okay, cool. Save that. Let's go here. Go here. Okay. Let's see if that works. Also, what scene are we in? Endless. What are our assets looking like? There we go. Input actions. We got this and this. Okay. That looks good. All right. Let's try this again. See if we can, break Unity again. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to break Unity. Add character, arcade, start. We can jump. Can we shoot? We can jump again. We cannot shoot anymore. Okay. So let's see. We entered the loop a lot of times, right? Which is interesting. Because how are we entering the loop when this value is false? Because I printed... So we're entering the loop a lot, right? Like enter loop, false, 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 false. But then there's some up here where it's true, false. How are we doing that if this is always false? Oh, because I'm silly. I probably definitely want to put that there. Definitely want to put that there. That would make a lot of sense. A lot more sense for sure. Okay, so now if we do... I think it resets all the console, doesn't it? No, it doesn't, surprisingly. What's this? Oh. Okay, well that's good. That tells us if it's, pressed down or not. Why is it true, though? When does it get set to true? Only here? Alright, so, well, I guess... what if you can devlog.log, like, end, like, stop shooting? Because if we go here, if we go further up, I bet you it doesn't do all that. But still, you should only enter the loop once, right? Like, you should not be entering it a bunch of times. Then again, I guess it depends on how many times it gets called and how fast all that updates, right? Because it's like, okay... It's entering the loop, entering the loop, entering the loop. It enters the loop so many times where that's false. So how is it even... Like, why is it even calling if it's false? All right, well, let's try it. Let's just test it again. With a bit better idea of what's going on. So we'll do this. We'll do arcade, start, and we're just gonna... That's it. Okay. That's all for now. I don't like the fact that I can't zoom. I want to make this bigger. Whatever. Okay, so it starts as false. Bro. It starts as false. But how does it enter the loop if it's false? What? Oh, it doesn't enter the loop. It just... Okay, so that's fine. So this happens, and then same thing, same thing. Now we get a true. Now it's entering the loop as true, true, expected. And now it's just false, 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 false. Where is this? Oh, it's player movement. Oh. You told me input isn't allowed? Wait. Why is input not allowed? That is really confusing. I am very confused by that. Oh, no. It's putting false to false. It's not frozen, and it's also not stunned. Okay, that's fine. We can get rid of this, honestly, for now. I was so confused. I was like, what in the world? Please don't clear the logs. Thank you. Okay. So that's whatever. Okay, so then stop shooting. Then it enters the loop as true, true, and stops shooting. Interesting. Why does it stop shooting so... Oh, because I never get set back to 0. I don't really know how to test this. Because the thing is, it's just exiting out of here before. Like it's exiting out of this once this reaches 100, and then it's not doing anything else. So there's no way for me to test. I mean, I could probably crank this up to like, 10,000 and then just flick and release it. But hopefully that won't cause the game to crash. 10,000 is probably a little ambitious, but we'll see. We'll see if it works. Arcade. Yeah, completely crashed. Done. Gone. Alright, guys. On that note, I think I'm gonna end the stream. Definitely not because I just crashed Unity again. Definitely not. Love myself some for loops in Unity. Yeah. Well, anyways. Oh, it worked! 10,000 was just a lot. Okay. So, there's only 18 logs from this. That's actually good. All right, we're not ending the stream, guys. It was a false alarm. We're not ending the stream. Not for, a couple more minutes anyways. So, false enters loop, stops. False enters loop, stops. False enters loop, stops. True enters loop, and then stops shooting. And it stopped because okay, we're gonna do some more testing. Well, let's try 1,000. And let's add is shooting to this. Oh, actually, hold on. I know what's going on. I forget how these work. So it's... So what's happening is, can I do a salad? Film. Okay. So what's happening is we have this loop, right? And it's saying shoot. And let's call this coroutine. Yeah, let's call it coroutine. So this coroutine calls this thing over here, this, function, which says wait. And what wait does is it releases this, and this is just, a big loop. So this wait isn't just telling it to stop what it's doing. It's telling it, hey, resume what you're doing and then come back to here in 15 seconds. The problem with this is it's going back to here and just continuing the loop. So there's just a bunch of coroutines waiting to finish. Yeah, they're 15 seconds, and then they'll go back and do this and finish to the end of the function. So instead of doing that, if we did shoot, or no. If we did, on initial, right? We start the coroutine, which is a function that does shoot, then wait. It'll go out of the coroutine and go, hey, resume to your initial spot, and then keep going, blah, 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 blah. And this is probably going to be the rest of it, right? That there's nothing else here. So we just, I just put it in the wrong spot. Coroutines, are pretty straightforward, but but also complex at the same time. Like, if you don't think about it the way, you end up crashing Unity. That's what happens. So let's start cooldown. It's just going to do... Yes, do that. Do that. Actually, I lied. Do... Where are we at? Where are we at? Take this and move that there. Then take this. Oops. And put it here. Ah! Copy that. Or cut that. Paste it here. There we go. Finally. And then... Okay. Let me just pack up this switch case. Okay. So, let's run through this one more time. Button gets pushed initially. Button gets pushed initially, right? And this is set to true. Initial event is initially true, so that's good. Then initial event gets set to false because it's no longer the initial event. An event after this will not be the initial event. Then you're going to start the coroutine. Coroutine says, hey, are you shooting? And you say, yes, I just started pushing the button. And then you're going to say, okay, well, if you can move and if you can put an input, then boom, shoot. Then wait. So then it comes back and goes here and goes, all right, blah, 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 done. Okay, initial event set to true. No. This should be here. Okay, so then it goes back to here and it says, okay, done with this method. Boom, all done. Then another event's pressed in and this gets pressed. Shooting is true. Okay, yep, shooting is true. Initial event, no, we set initial event false here and we haven't yet reached here. There. We haven't yet reached this because even if it's been, you know, however many seconds the fire rate is, it's just gone in this loop. And shooting is still true. So we haven't exited this while loop yet. Then when shooting is false, we'll get the input here, and we'll set it to false, which means this will stop running, which means the initial event will get set to true, which will restart it for next time. But before this gets done, initial event is still false, so you don't do any of that. This, I think, is going to work. But I said that last time, so who knows? Who could know? Someone much smarter than me. That's who. That's who. That is who. All right, let's test this out, and then I got to end the stream. I got to go make dinner, man. Hungry. I am hungry. Arcade. Oh, let's add our dude. Start. We can jump. We can shoot. We can stop shooting. We can start shooting. Stop shooting. Start. Stop. Start. Stop. Start. Stop. Yo, guys, we did it. We did it. This still doesn't work, but shift should work now. Yes. That one's there. That one's there. Guys, we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an excellent way to round off the stream. We really just started from scratch out here, doing it one by one. Best way to do it. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I'm definitely going to post this one on YouTube. I'll try to post also Mondays because I did not put on that. I don't think I put that on YouTube yet. But I'll try to post these videos on YouTube. Thanks for hopping on. I will see you guys next week. Peace.